All right, hello. So this is a short workout that's all designed for the kind of abs in the back. So the muscles that are really helping you support your spine and just your basic core strength. The main thing is this is going to be no warm up, a little really mini stretch. The kind of warm up is going to be the moves we do, easing you in and progressively getting bigger. And then anytime something gets too much, you can always scale back to a previous exercise. So we're going to start on our backs. Lie down on your back. The first exercise is just pelvic tilt, so you're barely going to be able to see what's happening here. But you just lie down on your back and you'll bring your hip bones as close to your ribs as you can. And then you're just going to release it. So tilting your hips or tilting your pelvis up, hips towards ribs, and then pulling away. So it's a small movement. And you just want to think that as you pull the hips towards the ribs, think of pulling the belly button in, kind of downwards towards the floor, but also inwards towards the middle. So it's tilting and just making the stomach as small as possible. And like I said, it's just kind of warming up the abs. And just keep getting a little extra longer pause as you do it. And then release, pause, then contract if you're ready to kind of hit the stomach. And then release. Right, so next move is an alternating toe tap. So you're going to bring your knees up over your hips. And find that tilt again, so hips towards the ribs, and then tap one toe towards the floor, lift it up, and then tap the other toe towards the floor. So the goal here is to try and make sure that your spine doesn't tilt away again. So you're just trying to keep your hips and ribs as close to each other as possible. As soon as you move the leg away, it is going to try and pull away. So if this is too much, if you need a bit less, there's two ways to reduce. So either it's not going all the way to the floor, or you can start with your toes on the floor and just go for an alternating knee lift. Same concept applies. You're trying to keep your spine as neutral as possible by bracing your abs. Now you're going to be tempted to put your hands up your bum, but don't. Just press the hands down onto the floor next to you. So next exercise we're going for ankle reaches. Keep both toes on the floor. Tuck your chin and lift your shoulders away from the floor. If you want a higher crunch, you just grab your thighs. Reach your arms to the side and you're just reaching for ankle and ankle. So you should now feel a squeeze in your abdominals, so the upper abs here all along the middle, and then also in the side as you bend. If you're finding you can't reach the ankles, that is fine. If you're finding you're comfortable reaching the ankles, just move the feet a bit further away from you, so you have to just bend and squeeze your waist a little bit harder. If at any stage, if your neck gets too tired, just take a little break and come back up again, or you can always use one hand to lightly support your head. Over time, your neck muscles will get stronger, just like the rest of your body. Yeah, nice. Right, next one's alternating single leg extensions. So find that tabletop position, knees over hips. And rather than tapping the floor, we're going to extend one leg away and then pull the knee in, and extend the other leg away and then pull the knee in. You're really driving your hands into the floor to help you keep your ab brace. If you're finding it's a little bit too much, you can either go back to the toe taps, or you can just extend one leg upwards towards the ceiling, so it's not going quite as far, not going as long. Again, do not tuck your hands underneath your bum. As soon as you do that, your tilt is in place by your hands being there. Whereas you want the tilt to be in place by your abs bracing and working hard. It's like possibly one of the most common things I see in the gym is people just kind of tucking their hands underneath. Yeah, nice. So then we're going to go with the ankle reaches again. If you're ready to go a little bit more, it's tabletop position. So you're going to grab your thighs, find that crunch, and then you're reaching again for ankle, and then ankle. And then if that is too much, just go back to the previous level and tap your toes down to the floor. Because by now, your abs should be starting to burn quite nicely. So choose the levels, right? If you notice your shoulders are gradually coming down, take a full break and then come back up again. Find a really high crunch and then release again. Release again, go again. Trying to keep your shoulders away from the floor and really feel the squeeze in the side of your waist. Notice if your knees have come closer to you, keep them over the hips. Yeah, nice, perfect. So instead of alternating leg extensions, the goal here is to advance and go to leg extensions as in both legs. So knees over hips and then extend both legs away from you and pull your knees in. Extending both legs away and pulling in. So if that's too much, you can regress to the previous option. So alternating leg, or you can go to the toe tap again. Or again, it's just making it so the legs aren't quite as long and not as far from you. So it might just be that you just lift the legs up and lower down. That's still going to be challenging your abs. If you're in between the two, why not try right leg, left leg, and then both legs. Oh. You're going to have to push super, super, super hard with your hands on the floor at this stage because it's much tougher when you've got both legs moving away. Nice. And then the final one, 100 abs. So you're going to have your shins parallel to the floor, grab your thighs, curl your body up. I can't talk during this one. So you're going to release your hands, block out everything, and then pump up and down as fast as you can. And watch out for floppy hands or floppy wrists and lock everything out right from the fingers to the shoulders. If you need less, toes down on the floor. Now this is a small movement. It's about an inch up and down, up and down, up and down, as fast as you can, fast as you can, fast as you can. Every single time you move, you should feel the abs go, ah! And you're so nearly done with the abs. So really just go for this, go for this, go for this. Take a breath in. And then as you breathe out, try and crunch higher. And if you want to make it a bit harder for the final 5 seconds, extend your legs away. And then release. So quickly roll over onto your front. So work the abs, going into the back. So lying onto the belly, coming to back extensions. So you're going to squeeze your butt and lift your thighs and your chest away from the floor, and then lower yourself back down again. Have a little pause at the top and try and lower it slowly down. Now, if it's a little bit too much, don't lift the legs and maybe keep the arms slightly down. The range here isn't important, it's just feeling the contraction of the back of your body. So if you're here with arms down, make sure you're not just pushing into the floor to lift yourself high. It's just there for a tiny bit of support and assistance. Slow, controlled movement. Yeah, perfect. Going into so we're lying prone means kind of lying on your belly. We're going to go for opposite arm and leg reach. So you're lifting your thighs away from the floor. As I'm talking rubbish, lying legs, you're lifting, reach your arms out in front, lift alternate arm and leg. So just your right arm, your left leg, lower down, and then left arm and right leg, and then lower yourself down. So if you can now, your arms reaching a little bit further away from you. So it's going to be slightly further, a little bit like the abs. The further away the arm, the bit harder it is. So if you need a bit less, bring your arms in closer. Still going opposite arm and leg. And then just tuck your chin and look down to the floor so your neck's in a really neutral position. Now we're just going to hold the back extension. So you're going to choose if you want to have your arms out in front and the thighs lifted, and we'll just hold here. If it is too much, again, you can pop your feet to the floor. If it's too much, bring your arms in closer. If that's too much, just slightly rest the hands down. So choose the level that suits. And the whole time, just keep breathing, don't hold your breath, and clench your bum as hard as you possibly can. Clenching, clenching, clenching. It's really important to have your back muscles as strong as your ab muscles. So if you find you are a person that does loads of abdominal work with sit-ups, crunches, planks, hopefully you want to get your back as strong as your front. So everyone breathe in, and then breathe out, just even go longer or a little bit higher. Just squeeze out an extra centimetre from the move. Yeah, nice, perfect. And then take a mini break down. Then we go for, this is what I wanted to say earlier, an alternating reach and pause. So you're going to lift your chest up, reach one arm forward, and then the other arm pulls back. So they're kind of both moving at the same time. One reaches forward, one pulling back. You're putting your elbow back towards your ribs. If you need less, feet down to the floor. And if you need less, one hand slightly supporting and don't go as long. Your back should be on fire by this point. Just watch out, we're not doing a front crawl, pulling the arm back. It's like keeping a 90-degree angle roughly at the elbow, and just pulling the elbow towards the ribs. So you should feel this in your lats as well, which is kind of the upper back to the side, kind of just below the armpits. Oh, my back is on fire. Yeah, nice, perfect. Have a little rest down. So you know how we did the ankle reaches, kind of side bending through the spine? We're going to mimic that in the back. So squeeze your butt, find a back extension, and then you're just bending to your right, and then bending to your left. bend to the right, and bend to the left, keeping the chest away from the floor. If you need to come down in between, then do. How it looks from the side, so you're kind of lifting up and aiming for this movement, but lying on your belly. So it's this movement lying on your belly, just with your chest up, lift, and bend, and bend. So getting into like the sides, your obliques, as well as the back of your body. You've got less than 10 seconds to go. Oh, take a mini break. So nearly done. But the next one we're twisting instead. So you're going to lift it up and then turn your like kind of chest and shoulders and face to face the screen. Come back through the middle and then open away from the screen and through the middle and keep on twisting side to side. Same thing, and if you need a little bit less by now, just come down in between each rep. Have a little break and then come up. Again, how it's looking, so you find that back extension and then you're twisting and opening, a bit like how a plane kind of would turn. So it's a twist and open to the side. You've got just about 10 seconds to go. And release. Just roll over to your back and hug your knees in. That's it. Quick blitz of the abs and of the back. So you might want to move around here a little bit. Roll around, give your back a little massage. Short and sweet. Sweet. And then just take a full body stretch. So take your legs out long, take your arms over your head. And arch your back away from the floor so you feel a little stretch in your belly. Maybe reach a bit further with the fingers, with the feet. And release, grab your thighs, rock yourself up. Roll yourself over, come into a child's pose. So big toes together, open your knees. And then just press your hips back. If you find it's uncomfortable on your knees or on your hips, and maybe come to popular pose, which is just wait a bit further forward. And then you still get that stretch in the back here. And then finally, cat and cows. Comfortable forwards. Tuck your chin, tuck your tailbone. And then lift your tailbone and lift your head. And then repeat that a few times so you feel the stretch in your back. And a stretch in your abs. Stretching your back. And stretching your abs. Nice, well done, that's it. Nice, short, sweet, 10-minute thing. Little blaster onto the abs and the back. If you are like, yes, I want to go through again, of course, feel free to just start again at the beginning and then see potentially if you found those progressions, you might want to start on those as you go through, but just making sure you've got the good technique. Well done. My back and abs hurt anyway. See you on the next one. Feel free to give feedback and I can give like a different